we're really, I think about like where we are today. We're at the beginning of an immense intelligence explosion. We're in the intelligence Big Bang right now. I mean, it's very exciting. I mean, I've been at times kind of worried about like, well, is this seems like it's somewhat unnerving to have intelligence created that is far greater than our own. And will this be bad or good for humanity? It's like I think it'll be good. Most likely it'll be good. Yeah. Yeah. But I somewhat reconciled myself to the fact that even if it wasn't going to be good, I'd at least like to be alive to see it happen.
Grok 4 might just be revolutionary.
Mr. Reagan.
All right, before we start, I've got a great new sponsor for the show, Gold Co. If you want to diversify your portfolio, protect your savings, safeguard your retirement, try investing in gold with Gold Co. Go to MrReaganLikesGold.com or call 844-696-GOLD or click on the link in the description below.
Elon Musk just said something mind-blowing. He said we are currently in the era of Big Bang intelligence. He said Grok will be inventing new useful technologies by the end of the year and providing us with new physics discoveries by 2026. And he's going to combine Grok with Optimus, his robot, to create robot scientists.
Ultimately, the thing that'll make the biggest difference is being able to interact with the real world via humanoid robots. So you combine sort of Grok with Optimus, and it can actually interact with the real world and figure out if it can formulate an hypothesis and then confirm if that hypothesis is true or not. So I would expect Grok to literally discover new technologies that are actually useful no later than next year and maybe end of this year. And it might discover new physics next year. And within 2 years, I'd say almost certainly.
Robot scientists, not robot janitors, not robot factory workers, robot scientists. And here is what nobody's talking about. It's the smart people who are getting replaced first. The PhDs, the researchers, the intellectuals. Meanwhile, the guy digging ditches, his job is probably safe for another few decades at least. Last night, Musk revealed Grok 4 to over 1.5 million viewers in a live stream. Now, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've come to a pretty shocking conclusion about which jobs will survive the AI apocalypse, and the answer might surprise you. Professional athletes, human test subjects for clinical trials, and surrogate mothers are going to be the only people with job security in 100 years. Literally the only ones. Why? Well, the human guinea pigs and the surrogate mothers are obvious, but the athletes, well, that's because we do not watch sports to see perfection. We watch to see the limits of human ability. Nobody's going to pay to watch Robot LeBron dunk on Robot Curry. That defeats the entire purpose. But your job, unless you're in the NBA, you're probably screwed. Look at what's already happening. Grok 4 just scored 25.4 on something called Humanity's Last Exam, a benchmark test with over 2,500 questions across math, science, and linguistics. And Musk was not being humble about it. He straight up said, at least with respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhDs in every subject. No exceptions.
At least with respect to academic questions, I want to just emphasize this point. With respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhD level in every subject, no exceptions.
Every PhD on the planet is about to become obsolete. And let's take a moment to talk about the clip I played at the top of the show. Elon says that Grok will be making new discoveries in physics by next year. New physics discoveries. Not new apps, not social media features, new physics discoveries. That's like the pinnacle of human discovery, and it's being made completely redundant by AI. Here's what's really messed up about all of this. Everyone assumed manual labor would go first. That's what the experts told us. Learn to code, they said. Get a degree, they said. Intellectual work is the future, they said. But they were completely wrong. Calculating advanced physics, no problem. Easy for AI. Writing complex code, no problem. But digging a ditch, that's actually really hard for a robot. But it's weird, right? It turns out that the thing we thought was most human, our intellect, is the easiest thing to replicate. And the thing that we thought was the most basic, our physical abilities, that's the hardest. Now, there are robots that can do physical labor. They do exist. But they're really expensive, way more expensive than paying some guy minimum wage, especially in third world countries. It often takes decades after a new technology has been developed for it to become cost effective enough to actually replace humans. I mean, think about it. We already have robots that can flip burgers, but McDonald's still employs teenagers because the robot costs more than paying someone $15 an hour. Now, Grok 4 isn't just some chatbot. The heavy version, which costs $300 a month versus the standard $30 a month, operates as a multi-agent system. It literally spawns multiple AI agents that collaborate like a study group. It includes something they call deep search that pulls real-time data from the web and X. And they've added all these new features, 5 new voices with latency reduced by half, natural human-like interaction. It can recite poetry to soothe you when you're stressed. But what does all this actually mean? They have created something smarter than humans. Well, here's the timeline that I'm predicting based on what I'm seeing. Within 50 years, your barista is going to be a sexy female version of C-3PO.
Here is your latte.
Thank you so much.
Within 100 years, even third world farmhands will be replaced by second-hand rusted up robots from China. The robots that we throw away will still be good enough to harvest the rice crop in developing nations. I'm imagining shops all along the streets in Indonesia selling these banged up second-hand $100 robots hanging from the ceiling. But there's something even more disturbing about all of this that nobody's talking about. And it has to do with what happens to humans when we have nothing left to do. I will get into that in one moment. First, of course, I have to talk about my amazing sponsor.
Do you ever feel like your body's stress switch is permanently stuck in the on position, like you can't shut your mind off at night? That was me, seriously. But then I discovered what was really happening. It wasn't just stress, it was a magnesium deficiency. That's when I discovered Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers. This changed everything. Within days of taking it, I noticed I was falling asleep faster, waking up refreshed, and I was handling daily stress much better. What makes Magnesium Breakthrough different? Well, most supplements, they only contain 1 or 2 types of magnesium. Magnesium Breakthrough delivers all 7 forms that your body needs, all in one capsule. And this balances your stress response and supports your sleep quality. The results speak for themselves. Over 1,500 5-star reviews from people who have reclaimed their calm, their sleep, their energy. And right now, you can save 10% when you go to bioptimizers.com/Mr. Reagan and use code Mr. Reagan. They even offer a full 365-day guarantee, so there's 0 risk to try it. Don't just manage stress, break through it with Magnesium Breakthrough. Again, that's bioptimizers.com/Mr. Reagan and use the code Mr. Reagan. And if you subscribe, not only will you get amazing discounts and free gifts, you will make sure that your monthly supply is guaranteed.
So, what happens when humans have no purpose? We actually know the answer to this because one scientist, John B. Calhoun, had the curiosity and foresight to run a series of experiments back in the early 1960s called the Rat Utopia experiments. The ultimate incarnation of these experiments was called Universe 25. But Universe 25 turned out to be no utopia at all. It turned out to be rat hell. This scientist gave the rats everything they could want. Unlimited food, perfect temperature, no predators, ideal living conditions. You know what happened? The rats went insane. They devolved into warring factions. They stopped procreating. Some turned into what Calhoun called the beautiful ones, asexual narcissistic dandies who did nothing but groom themselves all day. Sound familiar? Just look at Instagram.
In a unique experiment that took years to complete, Dr. Calhoun used white mice to study population growth and its effects on individual behavior. In this 16-cell mouse habitat, utopian conditions of nutrition, comfort, and housing were provided for a potential population of over 3,000 mice. Yet, in spite of ideal conditions, the mouse population met with catastrophe. Some unusual behavior became noticeable. Violence became prevalent. Other young mice growing into adulthood exhibited an even different type of behavior. Dr. Calhoun called these individuals the beautiful ones. Their time was devoted solely to grooming, eating, and sleeping. They never involved themselves with others, engaged in sex, nor would they fight. All appeared as a beautiful exhibit of the species, with keen, alert eyes and a healthy, well-kept body. These mice, however, could not cope with unusual stimuli. Though they looked inquisitive, they were, in fact, very stupid.
That is what's coming for humanity. Universe 25 for the human race. Because if AI becomes more useful, then most humans will almost certainly completely lose any sense of purpose. And a sense of purpose is absolutely critical for healthy human psychology. Without purpose, we spiral into madness. So, how do we avoid turning into those rats? How do we maintain purpose when AI does everything better than us? I've thought about that a lot, and I think the solution is twofold. First, we need to reinvest in the Christian religion. I know that's not popular to say, but in order to have any sense of purpose in life, in a world in which human production is entirely redundant, it is essential to function ethically with an absolute duty to God. This will give us purpose beyond just productivity. Second, humans, especially Americans, need to be more open to experiential exploration. Explore new ideas, new food, new cultures, new sports, new games, constantly. And here's why this matters. The human brain consolidates redundant experiences. If you experience the same thing every day for a week, your brain processes it like a single day. A guy doing the same thing daily for 100 years, he perceives his life as just one day. But novel experiences, they make life feel longer, richer, more meaningful. I used to think I would hate Hawaii, the plastic hula girls, fake flower necklaces, ukuleles, and aloha shirts. It all seemed so cheesy. Then I visited a friend there. It was amazing. Now Hawaii is one of my favorite places on Earth. Sometimes you think you'll hate something, and then you try it, and it completely changes your life. And that's what we need more of, not just watching the latest Netflix show, but real experiences. Travel somewhere, try a new restaurant, learn a new skill. Not because you need it for work, those days are ending, but because it makes you more human. I mean, there's some things, of course, that you probably shouldn't try. Some things will just leave you traumatized. So be careful, be sensible. I'm not telling you to go do hard drugs or experiment with bisexuality. I'm just saying, go do something new, have a new experience, do something different. And there is, of course, one human experience that will always give us a sense of purpose. An experience that fewer and fewer people seem to want to have, but it may become the only thing that truly gives us any sense of true purpose once AI takes over. And that is having children. I could go through the details of this, but if you have kids, you already know what I mean. I mean, I don't have kids, and I still get it. It's pretty obvious. It just takes a little common sense. I mean, some people just don't have common sense, but it's not that difficult to figure out. And look, it is really important that we try to think through this brave new world, because the truth is, we're entering completely uncharted territory. We've built something smarter than ourselves. We've created our own obsolescence. It's concerning, but maybe we can do better than the rats, because we have a secret weapon in the fight against our own uselessness, something those rats could never do. They could not find meaning beyond survival, but we can. We have to, because the alternative is Universe 25. And I don't think any of us want to end up as narcissistic dandies grooming ourselves while civilization collapses. None of us want to end up as TikTok influencers. In conclusion, the future is not about competing with AI. I don't think that's possible. AI will inevitably win. Our future is about finding what makes us irreplaceably human. And if we can figure that out, well, at least we'll have really good robot baristas. Well, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. And remember, it's not that the liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much. That is not so. Good night.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.